Thursday evening in December has the particular quality of the year's end. The city is different in December Thursday evenings, the particular kind of send. Offer the year in the lights and the particular code. Thursday evening in December at this bar has the particular kind of old and familiar of the December that comes every year, and the bar that receives it without surprise. Thursday evening in December at this bar in this particular code. Thursday evening in December has the particular kind of old comfort of the annual returning. Oh, the December Thursday. Thursday evening in December is the year's most particular kind of evening. Thursday evening in December is the particular kind of leaving the year behind before the new year arrives. Thursday evening in December is where the year's particular jives into the final weeks of the actual year. Thursday evening in December is the most particular kind of clear that the year has to offer at the end of itself. The bar is different in December, more generous, more the particular kind of light that December evenings in bars always manage to be. The particular December kind of right of the year, knowing it's ending and being gracious about the ending. Thursday evening in December is the particular kind of bending into the last of the year with the particular grace of the December bar. Thursday evening in December is the year being generous at the end. Thursday evening in December is the particular kind of transcend of the year into the last few Thursdays. Thursday evening in December is the year's most particular kind of evening. Thursday evening in December is the particular kind of leaving. I've had 22 December Thursdays at this bar, each one the particular kind of same. The December Thursday is reliably the most particular kind of claim the year makes on the bar, the most worth the showing up for. Thursday evening in December is the most particular kind of before the ending of the year that was. Thursday evening in December is the particular pause a December bar light.
Thursday evening in December.
The year almost done, the bar's still here, the glass still right. The December Thursday, same as always, the best one yet. They played something in the bar last Wednesday. That was the particular summer of my 22. The summer of the particular city and the particular people and the particular version of who I knew myself to be. I stopped mid-sentence, and the person across from me noticed the stopping. And I said sorry and explained the particular distance between here and there in the music. When the music from my youth comes on, the years compress to nothing. When the music from my youth comes on, I'm 22 and nothing has happened yet that happened after. When the music from my youth comes on, I'm both ages at the same time. When the music from my youth comes on, I'm standing in the same ride of the summer and the bar and the particular people, and also in this bar 50-something years into the particular scar and glory of the living since that summer, both at once. When the music from my youth comes on, is the most particular stunts time does to you at this age. The song lasted 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I know because I counted in a particular way. You count when you're inside a song completely before the song releases and the bar comes back to play. I came back to the conversation slightly different, the way you come back from the music of the young, a little more aware of all the distance between the song and where the song had begun. For me, in that specific summer, when the music from my youth comes on, it comes on harder the older that I get. When the music from my youth comes on, it's the most efficient delivery yet of the total archive of the before. At the same time, when the music from my youth comes on, I'm standing in the same ride. I started making peace with the compression, the simultaneous 22 and 53. When the music from my youth comes on, is the most specific kind of being free from the linear. The music makes all the years concurrent. When the music from my youth comes on, the distance becomes current. and close, and 22 is here. When the music from my youth comes on, is when I know the years are not the distance I imagine. They're closer than the living makes them seem. When the music from my youth comes on, is the most particular dream. While wide awake, when the music from my youth comes on, 3 minutes, 40 seconds, both ages, both bars, both summers at once, still here. There's a man at the end of this bar every Thursday, who has been there every Thursday since I started coming. He's 20 years older than I am by the look of it, and he sits with his drink without the particular humming of the younger ones, the restless seeking of the younger ones. He has the particular stillness of the arrived, the stillness of the person who has run the distance and found the pace. The version of me at the end of the bar is what I'm aiming for. The version of me at the end of the bar has found what the bar is for, without the needing it to be more. Just the bar, just the drink, just the Thursday. The version of me at the end of the bar is the Thursday in its most complete. The version of me at the end of the bar has found the particular seat of the arrived, of the knowing what the evening is. The version of me at the end of the bar is the most particular is of the regular life, of the found and settled life, of the Thursday. I've been watching him for 2 years, Thursday evenings, the particular way he holds his glass, the particular way he leaves at the particular hour, not too early and not letting it pass into the staying past the good part. He has the bar time to the particular. The version of me at the end of the bar is the most specific and circular pattern of the knowing I wanna earn. The version of me at the end of the bar is the end point of this journey. The version of me at the end of the bar has earned the particular attorney of the stool, and the stillness, and the knowing. The version of me at the end of the bar is the Thursday regular seat. I don't know anything about his actual life. The regular bar version is all I have. The particular stillness and the particular glass and the particular knowing of the bar he has. That's enough. The bar version is the version that matters here. The version of me at the end of the bar has got through the particular fear of the younger versions into the stillness of the arrived. The version of me at the end of the bar is what every Thursday is building toward. 20 years from now, if I keep showing up, the version of me at the end of the bar is the filling of this cup. The version of me at the end of the bar is there now, Thursday, drink in hand. 20 years ahead of me, teaching me by just being there. Looking back at the years of my early 40s, I see the good years I didn't know were good. I was too inside the particular worry of them to feel the particular good as I should have felt it. The health was good and the work was interesting, and the friendships were the ones that lasted, and the love was in its middle years of blossoming, and the whole decade was the ones that lasted. But I was worried through most of it. The good years I didn't know were good are the years I'm most sorry about. The good years I didn't know were good were full of the particular doubt that kept me from the particular feeling of the good while it was there. The good years I didn't know were good are the ones I see most clearly now. The good years I didn't know were good were full of the particular how of the living it while being too inside it to see the particular gift it was. The good years I didn't know were good are the most particular cause of the intention to know the good while I am in it. The good years I didn't know were good are teaching me the within it of the actual good years as they're happening. I try now to ask myself on the particular ordinary Thursdays, is this a good year? Is this the one I'll look back at from the next decade and and see the particular clear gift that I missed while it was here. The good years I didn't know were good are the most particular kind of dear. Instruction in the paying attention. Trained hindsight, teaching foresight. Well, the good years I didn't know were good are the ones I see most clearly now. The good years I didn't know were good were full of a particular how. I think this is a good year. The particular Thursday at the particular bar, the particular friend at the end of the bar, the particular walk home in the particular star of the city at night, the particular glass and the particular light. The good years I didn't know were good made me look more carefully at tonight, which is probably a good year, which I'm trying to know is a good year while I'm in it. The good years I didn't know were good are teaching me to know this one while I'm in it. This Thursday, this bar, this glass, this good year.
The night had been long enough to earn another, the kind of night that justifies the staying. I ordered one more, and the man beside me said something about the particular way. The city sounds at night shift down to something. You can hear the building breathe at 1 a.m. He said he'd noticed it once decades ago and never stopped noticing it since then. One more round at the end of the night, one more reason to stay in the light, one more conversation that might turn to something, one more version of the ordinary ride. One more round, and then we'll go. One more round before the street and the cold below. He was visiting from a city I'd been to once. He asked what I did, and I said probably nothing. He laughed the kind of laugh that earns the trust, and we stayed another hour doing something. We talked about the things that strangers talk about at 1 a.m. at the end of a long night. the lives we'd had and the lives we hadn't gotten to, and the particular quality of the light. One more round at the end of the night. One more reason to stay in the light. One more conversation that might turn to something. One more version of the ordinary ride. One more round, and then we'll go. One more round before the street and the cold below. He left for his hotel at 1:30. He shook my hand the way men used to do it. I walked home on the slightly longer route and felt the good of having gotten through it. Whatever it was I'd been carrying into the evening was lighter by the conversation and the staying. One more round is sometimes the decision that makes the whole night worth its own delaying. One more round was the right call. One more round before the fall into the regular and the going home. One more round for the man I briefly knew. One more round for evenings that come through. One more round, a man in the city breathing. One more round, one more round, and then leaving into the night that was better for the staying. For the one more. We've been friends through the various configurations of both our lives across the 30 years. Through the loves and the moves and the disagreements, through the better years and the particular worse years. We had a year or 12 years in when the friendship went through the particular test of whether it would survive the specific thing that we don't talk about in public. It survived, we've had the rest of the years since, both of us the better for the surviving. The long friendship that survived everything is the most particular thing I have. The long friendship that survived everything is more than half of what I'm made of. In the better ways, the long that survived everything is the one I call at 3 in the morning. The long friendship that survived everything is the one without the warning. Required before the honesty, without the preamble and the pretext. The long friendship that survived everything is the most particular kind of text. I can send, but gets the actual response. The long friendship that survived everything is the most particular renaissance of the self. In the knowing of another, he knows the version of me from the beginning. The particular 22-year-old I was. He's watched the versions come and go between us, with the particular knowledge that long friendship does. Of the pattern, of the recurring, the long friendship that survived everything is the most particular kind of occurring. Through the decades of the same witness, the long friendship that survived everything is the most particular gift of the years. The long friendship that survived everything is the most particular clears of the fog, of the confused sense of self. The long friendship that survived everything is the one I call at 3 in the morning. The long friendship that survived everything is the one without the warning. There are things I know because he knows them with me, things I couldn't know alone, because the knowing requires the witness. The long friendship that survived everything has grown into the most particular kind of garden that only the 30 years can make. The long friendship that survived everything is the most particular kind of stake in the ground of the actual of who I am. The long friendship that survived everything is the most particular kind of exam passed with 30 years of flying colors. The long friendship that survived everything is on the phone now, saying something funny about the year at 12, which we can finally laugh about. 30 years on, still here, still mine. My friend Peter died at 42 of something sudden, and left behind the particular way he laughed, the full body laugh that started from the stomach, the kind that made everyone laugh on his behalf. I find him in my laughing sometimes,
the same full body start from the stomach. He's in the way I hold my glass at bars. Something I picked up from the years of the conduct of his company, the particular things he taught. The things I carry from the ones who went are the most particular kind of inheritance. The things I carry from the ones who went are the most persistent evidence that the dead continue in the gestures of the living. The things I carry from the ones who went are more than the grief of the missing. The things I carry from the ones who went are in the living and the listing of the particular ways I've changed by having had them in my ears. The things I carry from the ones who went are worth more than the tears of the losing them, which was the cost. The things I carry from the ones who went are the gain inside the loss. My aunt carried a book wherever she went, a particular habit she had all her life. I found myself with a book in every bag since she went. The book is her, and the knife of her going is softened by the book. The things I carry from the ones who went are the everyday look of love continuing in the pocket, in the gesture, in the laugh. The things I carry from the ones who went are the most durable part of them. The things I carry from the ones who went are the most particular garden of the living that the dead leave behind. The things I carry from the ones who went are more than the grief of the missing. The things I carry from the ones who went are in the living and the listing. I've started noticing the things I carry from the people who have left the years. Peter's laugh and my aunt's book and half a dozen other particular wares of the people I have loved, who loved me back. The things I carry from the ones who went are the entire track, record of the love and its lasting form. The things I carry from the ones who went are the most particular warm thing that the dead leave for the living. The things I carry from the ones who went are still giving. The things I carry from the ones who went, Peter's laugh, my aunt's book, a dozen smaller things, still giving, still here, still them in me. In me.
Daylight saving used to mean an extra hour at the bar, an extra hour of the particular evening. Now daylight saving means the clock confusion, and the week of the body slightly leaving. It's calibration, its particular known relationship to dark. Daylight saving at 50 lands differently than at the dark of 28, when an extra hour was free money. What daylight saving means at 50 is the annual renegotiation. What daylight saving means at 50 is the body's particular taxation on the change of the lights. What daylight saving means at 50 is the week of the slightly wrong. What daylight saving means at 50 is the sleep that's not quite as strong. For 7 days while the body recalibrates, for 7 days of the fighting the clock. What daylight saving means at 50 is the annual shock to the system, that the system handles worse than it used to. What daylight saving means at 50 is the week the body loses to the clock. I mentioned daylight saving to the bartender last October. He said he hadn't slept well since the change. I said me neither, and we toasted to the body that I started finding daylight saving strange. In the way of the body that has calibrated itself over the decades to the particular light, and resist the changing of the particular light in the most personal kind of fight. What daylight saving means at 50 is the gentle annual reminder that the body has opinions now, and is a more particular kind of finder of the wrong, of the off, of the not quite right. What daylight saving means at 50 is the week of the slightly wrong. What daylight saving means at 50 is the sleep that's not quite as strong. The upside of the spring forward is the evening light. The particular evening light of the spring forward is worth the temporary fight with the clock, with the body. What daylight saving means at 50 is the trade of the week of the off sleeping for the months of the evening light. Oh, what daylight saving means at 50 is worth the fight. Just barely. What daylight saving means at, what daylight saving means at 50 is next week I'll be fine. This week I'm recalibrating with the rest of the 50-year-old people who feel this every year more than before.
The bookshop on the corner stays open late on Fridays. Something about Friday evening and the books. I come in when the day has been too much and find myself inside the particular nooks. The owner is a woman who has had this place for 20 years. She knows what kind of reader comes on Fridays. She steers me gently toward the things I need, without being asked and without giving away. The bookshop in winter is the warmest room in the city. The bookshop in winter takes the weak and gives it pity. All the noise and the demanding of the regular goes quiet when you walk through that door. The bookshop in winter is what Fridays are for. I bought a book last winter I haven't opened. I bought it for the cover and the weight. Sometimes buying is enough without the reading. Sometimes having is the thing that's really great. But mostly I read everything I bring home. I carry them in on the Saturdays next, and let the bookshop do its weekly thing of making the world make more sense than the text. The bookshop in winter is the warmest room in the city. The bookshop in winter takes the weak and gives it pity. All the noise and the demanding of the regular goes quiet when you walk through that door. The bookshop in winter is what Fridays are for. There's a particular kind of quiet in a bookshop that is different from the quiet of other rooms. It's the quiet of a lot of people's best work, living in the dark until someone assumes the responsibility of reading them into light. Each book a small and waiting world. The bookshop in winter is every story curled into its spine and waiting on the shelf for the person who will come on a particular Friday and find a particular book that they were heading toward all along in their own way. The bookshop in winter, I found myself here again. The bookshop in winter, at the end of another when the week became too much for the inside of itself. I gave me back myself. The bookshop in winter, Friday again. One more book, one more warmth, one more door that opens the right way.
I've spent a significant portion of my adult life in the particular company of bars. I've had the important conversations over drinks. I've watched the important arrivals and the scars of the important endings at these counters. I've been consoled and challenged and confused. I found myself and lost myself at tables, and come home sometimes battered and sometimes bruised.